prepping for lockdown again.
Do you think we'll go into lockdown? I don't know if we will. I
Yeah.
reckon Auckland will though.
13 new cases today.
Yeah, in Auckland.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, there's a couple that haven't been confirmed yet, but it's probably likely. And one of them's a Green MP that went had a meeting in Auckland and then flew back to Wellington and did a few things in Wellington as well as going to parliaments and shit. So
Fuck. Fuck's sake. Oh my days. Yeah, well, fuck. I mean, at the end of the day, like I was thinking about how we could have a conversation this week about it, but I'm just like, well, you've got. I mean, the positive is you've got the audiences, you've got online, you've got that system there that you didn't have before. We always said this, we were joking around, but now it's fucking serious.
Yeah, I know. When we were like, oh yeah, we've got this for next time it happens. If it ever happens again, I was like, yeah, right.
I don't know if they. Like, I mean, hypothetically, I don't know if they can actually close New Zealand down again. I don't know if they can afford to.
No. From what I'm hearing, if they do, it'll be a maximum of 4 weeks, and it'll be the last time we try a lockdown.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like you're gonna die, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, like, it's just fucking nuts, man. Like, it's just hard. The problem is, yeah, it's just crazy. I saw all those conspiracies about how, like, all of a sudden we had 102 days without cases, and then all of a sudden we had 4.
Yeah.
I love fucking conspiracy theorists. I'm just sitting there like, this is probably not the one thing we want to be talking about. Just like,
well, so far, like, I love a good conspiracy, but
yeah.
So far I haven't seen one that I'm like, oh yeah, that could be true. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's people are like, oh yeah, this. I'm like, last time I checked, you're not a fucking doctor. You're not even anywhere near whatever they're called, scientists. I'm like, you have no fucking clue. You probably can't even do math correctly, let alone try and predict what the fucking virus is doing. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But that's interesting about the Greens Party. Fuck, man, just imagine that comes out.
Yeah, I know. I was like, ooh, wonder if that's true. I checked it on ZB before, and it was like,
when was he
12
flying?
new cases. It was last week or something.
Fuck, I'm so happy I didn't fly last week. Bro, that would have been fucking me. He would have been in the fucking Coral Lounge as well.
Yeah.
That's nuts. All right, but work. Let's say we'll talk about work currently now, and then what we'll do, action plan into going into lockdown. Let's just assume we are going into lockdown and think about the platform we can do. And then we're prepared for it, because I don't think there's going to be much of it. Like, you could, prove me wrong in what you're going to probably say, but I don't believe there is there shouldn't be a reason why you shouldn't be able to do the online side of things.
Yeah. So here's my plans, and then what I'm hoping for at the same time. So I'm hoping for it to, if we do move from level 2, that it's just straight up level 4. Because I can't be fucked with level 3. I do have a plan for level 3. We're going to keep the shop open, and just slam our display unit against the door, so that we're just a takeaway bakery. You can't even set foot inside.
Awesome.
Because I would have missed out on, I reckon, probably about $5,000 to $10,000 from not doing that last time, because I'd read the rules. How I interpreted it was that wasn't okay, and I'm pretty sure that's how it was supposed to be interpreted, but they were like, oh, fuck it. Yeah. So we're going to do that, plus smash the online orders side of things. I need after this, I'm going on our website and taking a few cunty things off and then adding things on. Just so it's simple and easy. Like, we had some cunt from Wellington. Where were they? What's on the other side of the Terrace Tunnel? Island Bay.
Yeah.
Someone from Island Bay trying to order like $150 worth of pies, even though as soon as you click on the orders page, it says we cannot do pies outside of Kapiti.
Yeah.
So I was like, fucking dumb cunt. So I just emailed them back, and I was like, hey, really sorry, we cannot do this. Well, we can, but I just can't be fucked buying all the shit in and doing all the paperwork so that I can send this off to you. So yeah, that's my plan for level 3, but I'm hoping we just go level 4. And now that I've got the house, I've got a proper sized kitchen and an actual functioning oven. I'm going to do every day, do a different baking demonstration
Beautiful.
on how to make our most popular product. Like, I was always iffy about giving away our croissant recipe and showing people how to make them. But then I thought after the last one, I was like, man, people just don't want to invest that time or energy
No one
into
does.
making their
No
own
one
product.
does. Like literally, my ad campaign for one of my projects in the next coming weeks is literally going through a membership portal, showing them exactly what it is, the whole entire thing, and saying, go buy it.
Yeah.
They're not going to, even if they do copy it, there's no fucking way they're going to copy it. And if they do, they'll be shit. So what I would suggest doing now, taking that idea, is I want you to start shooting them now, like those demonstrations now. So the goal is that we're probably going to have at least, hypothetically till Friday. The idea is that if we can do that and we can get them, even if you want to send that shit over to me and me edit them up, let me do it. It'll be faster, right? Because my processing power in here is fucking probably faster than what you can just keep feeding that way. Then we have those. I reckon we just start running them anyway. Like regardless of what I'm thinking of now is thinking of like a stage process of what you should do for ads. You run those videos as like engagement ads rather than lead form ads. So you say whoever's going to engage it, we make an audience out of the 50% of people that pay attention to it. Then what we do is we remarket those 50%. So we retarget them using that exact audience and then offer them whatever you want from the online side of things, because it's going to be easier than trying to go find people that are, even if with the lookalike audiences you have now. So I would just even shoot one. Don't shoot all of them now. Shoot one, send it over to me to get edited up. We edit them up, subtitle it. We do all that kind of shit to make sure it's appropriate for online. Then we release an ad with an engagement pod, meaning that we want to try and find people that are engaging over 50% of the video. So the video is going to be a certain amount of time. Then we remarket them with whatever your offer is for online. Let's say it's whatever we can just figure that out today. And then the third one is like, the third step is getting everyone that's bought from that specific thing and then remarketing those for X amount more.
Yeah.
The art is being able to capture that period of time when they go from level 2 to level 4 and everyone needs food. Everyone turns into a fat cunt. Like everyone turns into a fat cunt because they're like, fuck, I'm in level 4. I don't have work. Boom. This is our opportunity. So this is what everyone's going to be reactive rather than proactive, and you're being proactive in this scenario. But that would be what I would suggest using those videos for. And then capturing the amount of information. Don't even ask them for anything. Just capture the amount of information that people give you.
Yeah. So the only issue I have with that at the moment is anytime I do any of those lead gen things or anything, it's really hard to keep track of not only who's actually what's the word for it? Who's actually signing up for it, but then when people come in to buy it, I'm like, yeah, sorry, what was your name? And then, oh, what was your email? And they're like, I've already given you my fucking email.
Tell them the fuck up. So again, the thing is, it's like, well, realistically, all you'd have to do to conquer that is just print off the CSV file every single time, or have the CSV file go down and find that person's name. Because there has to be, and this is where we could inbuild like a code specifically. So the only way they can find out is if they give you a code.
Yeah.
So for instance, in the first email, they should get a code saying, say this when you go to the reception or whatever, right? The second thing is what I'm saying is it's completely different. And this is why I think in Panic, everyone is obviously going to be on social media. So what I'm meaning by that is if you go to here and you go create ad like we normally do, if we just, no, I won't create new. I just call this test. I'm just on one of my clients' accounts. We go down to here and it's called engagement, post engagement. Now, people really, really fuck this up, tremendously fuck this up because they're idiots. Like I had one client that I just did a retainer contract for, and it was just, she was like, I don't even know what I was doing before I did what I'm doing here. So then let's say we go save to draft, what will happen is it'll populate, but then all we do is we go down to here, we use the copy. I can write some more copy for you if you need to. We just go through here instead of using a custom audience again. Well, you could if you want to, but you can use any of your existing audiences. And then we can go through and change all this stuff. So let's say we do this. I'm just going to use warm traffic for the last 60 days. But then what we do is we can go find out people that are willing to pay attention to it. So why the fuck is it not letting me to do? What the fuck? Hold up. No. Piece of shit. Fuck off. Because this is like the easiest way to. Why the fuck is it not letting me? It's like missed a step for some reason. Let's create another test. Oh, there we go. That's why. So we go add one like we normally would. Image one like we normally would. And then what we do is we go down to image. We go to the custom like I just said before. But then now what we do is we just pretty much put a video in place. So instead of putting a Facebook's being retarded today. So you just put the video in, right? So we'd put any video in here. We could put any of her videos in and then do it from there. But what you do is you come up here and create an audience like we did before, but instead of doing the CSV file, which makes it super easy for you who's probably going to be jam-packed busy-wise, we go custom audience, go not website, fuck. Custom audience video. Then what we do is we pick the video. So what you want to do is you want to find everyone that's watched over 50% of your video. We could also just group them in and say if we want to watch 75 and if we want to watch 95, but pretty much you can do it specifically. Ideally, you'd want to do 3 separate audiences. And then we want to do it over the next 60 days. We just want to go video. And then I just put my thing there, meaning that I'm the person that's done it. But then obviously you want to choose your video. So ideally you would post the video first. You'd then go down and then find your page, wherever the fuck your page is, and then find the video. So for instance, you can go through all of your existing videos that have done really well. Doesn't matter how long they've been. So obviously these are ads that we've done. So what I could do is I can go and find this one, and then I can go confirm. And then I can see who's watched 50% or more of this video. And then I can go engage video app trial. Ooh. And then I can just go create audience. It's going to take 30 minutes. And then it just gives me, obviously this is going to be, what I'll do is I'll go create lookalike audience based on the same thing. So I'd go over here and I'd find this calorie video, 75% watched, engaged video. Then I'd go New Zealand. What the fuck? Who the fuck's ringing me? It's not even popping up my screen. Jesus. And then you can see here. So it's already populated. So based off that video already, you can populate. Who the fuck is ringing me? Hold on 2 seconds. Sorry. Oh, some random. I get so many people randomly ringing me on Facebook. So the idea is, let me just find where I was before. See how easy that was? So it's much easier than...
So with when you put it up the for people that watched 50% of this video in the past, does it have to be the video that you're... No,
it can be any, because as long as you've got a pixel, you can go back as far as you want. Yeah.
So obviously, for me, it would be that main video that I've done that would have the best audience. Yeah. And then I'll just...
So then what I'll do is I'll go create a lookalike audience. I'll pick the video again. I would go to engage video. Then I'd go to United Kingdom. So you can already see 1% is nearly 500,000 people. Just watching 1,300 people, 50% or more have watched the video. We can go all the way up to 4.6 million people. Right, but you want to get it as close to 1% as possible. So what we can do is we can even just refine it. I'm even going to test this because I just want to just refine it a lot more and find people that are like 1% of my audience. I like doing it on video more than I actually like doing it on CSV because it actually allows you to really hone in on, like if I want to do United States, which is probably one of the hardest places to hit, 2.4 million people from 1%. It's madness. So 1% of the United States, 2.4 million people that have watched 50% or over that video that was released a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
because this is how you like, and I'll show you because she's been with me for a while. Like I've done her ads for a long. You can see all the audiences we've populated for her since here. We've populated all these audiences, and they're all going to say this while they're populating. But the idea behind it is that we can go through and we can figure out, okay, cool. Like I'm happy with the 75, but it is also costing £2 for a 7-day trial. Now she's converting people, but what happens if we went in here and we dropped in LLAs here? What I would say is video LLAs, and then I'd put more in here to just allow Facebook to go off and do their own shit, because there's been 348 people that have clicked on the link, but there's only been 75 people in the last 30 days that have downloaded it, which is still fine. That's 75 people that have started it. If we go lifetime, she's at 136 and it's only cost her £3 per person. See what I'm saying? So it's equivalent to, just assume this is New Zealand dollars, so it's not double because of the currency, but it's just equivalent. So you've had 92 people. I want to try and tackle the United States, but obviously it's not doing well at all. But Facebook didn't allow it to do well because it's a big place to do. So because these are doing so well, I want to try more and I want to see what we can do as well. Because that video did so well, the reason why I even had this idea was because if you go into here, you can see this video that we here, copy change, is done 22. Now this has been going longer, but it's still doing really, really well. So it's allowing it to say, okay, cool, like let's see what we can do in terms of audiences through there as well. So that's what I think you should do like now, with existing videos, the videos that you've already done. You probably don't even have to release a new one. Go find those audiences, and then that's going to be your online. That's going to be your online presence. It's much quicker. You've already got the audiences from your existing campaigns previously. You've got the email list. This is why I said, and this is why I'm harping on so much about it, this email list will float you for as long as you want.
Yeah.
Because last time, like I said, I've probably done my most I've ever done from an email campaign for clients and myself has been about 7x. So we've sent out one email and we've got 7x return in spend.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why the people that are on your email list now will not turn to you to try and get those luxuries. It's just about consistency. So it's about saying, cool, here we go. What we can do is even preempt it. Everyone's sending emails out now saying like what to do when COVID hits.
Yeah.
Send an email out. Say, this is what I want you to do as soon as you get that notice, because we know we're probably going to go into lockdown. I'm going to be fucked. Can we play? We can't play golf at fucking level 4, can we?
Nah, we can play in level 3. I asked the guy at Oteki.
I don't think I can play Oteki though, because I can't travel that far. Can I?
If you say it's for work.
Oh, fuck.
Like, I've got a fucking business meeting, motherfucker.
Bro, I'm playing, like, literally, as soon as lockdowns, if that's happening, bro, I'm playing golf 3 times a week. 100%. Monday, Friday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking need it with the amount of work that I'm going to have on.
Well, that's the problem. In level 4, no courses are allowed to open.
Bro, I'm going to go out. I'm probably soon I'm going to get one of those putting machines, like, and put in the hallway and just putt.
Yeah, bro, those are dope. I want to get one of those.
I don't think they're that expensive. Are they?
Are they like $100? So it's, yeah, like pretty cheap, really. For how
I might go to the golf warehouse later today.
I'm gonna go to Mitre 10 and I'm gonna buy me some fake grass and I'm gonna make me a little chipping green.
Bro, how good. So yeah, I think that's the plan. I think the 3-step plan is to get that video out, or at least create the audiences from that video. Get everyone that's done over 50%, and then I would even like put out a teaser ad to try and get those people's email addresses, because the email addresses is going to be what's is going to be what's going to be saving grace here. It's like the most important thing we can do right now is understand that the next phase of what we're doing has to be online. Everything has to be online focused, because that's effectively the only thing that's going to allow you to stand out from everyone else. Because this, in fact, may crush all of your competitors, if not most of them.
Yeah.
Because you've seen how quickly I did that. For that information, people wouldn't know where to turn. So you've done the right things and having the right people in your corner. But it's also allowing it to say, well, hey, like when you reach out to me to say, hey, I need you to do this, 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 and this, and this. Like, to get you through this phase, let me do some of that big shit. Because of course I'll do it, right? So it's all good. And that's what I wanted to make sure you knew before we went into this kind of things, because that's what that's what I'm here for. So, you know, it's just having those, like, we need to jump on calls more often to get through those logistical things. Emails, if you want me to write your emails, if you want me to write your copy, if you want me to edit your videos, fucking just make me a list.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's this is, like I'm telling everyone, I'm like, I just put on my Instagram stories. People are fucking crushing it because people were panicking. People were like, I want to work out. These people are locked into contracts. So it's like craziness. So it's just about going through those things and saying, yeah, this is the time to make a real big change.
Yeah, well, I know my next 2 or 3 posts, like just organic posts on Facebook, are going to be how good our bread freezes, 2, how good our pies freeze, and then 3, how good our slices freeze. And it's like, yeah, fucking another, like, I'm gonna word it so it's not saying prepare yourself for lockdown, but as soon as they read it, they're gonna be like, fuck, that's gonna be so handy during lockdown.
And the thing that you need to market is that there's no lines at yours.
Yeah.
Because I literally went to order. I just ordered all my food this week online. I'm like, I'm not fucking sitting in those lines again.
Yeah. No, I'm getting all mine through work. I said to the missus, I was like, prepare to have the freezer full of 20 meals because I brought 2.4 kg tins of chopped tomatoes. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's those kind of things, right? Like, it's just going through and saying the action plan is step 1, step 2, step 3. The time is now to run ads, right? They're not going to be expensive because everyone's imploding. Everyone's going to be trying to do things and people just won't. You talked about previously, just in this call before, how people don't take action. Everyone will say they're going to go online. No one will. They just don't know how.
Yeah.
They'll freak out. They'll sit in front of their camera. Like, look how intense the ads manager looks to people. Now, you've had experience with it for the last couple of weeks, but it is an intense beast. Like this client that I said from America, she's like, what the fuck have I been doing this whole time? I'm like, I don't really know, to be honest. I'm like a savage with my retainer clients because it's month to month. So it's not like a fixed in thing. They just pay me like a lot more than I would expect a normal week to week. So it's like, it's just people are fucking idiots. So just treat everyone that looks at your ad as an idiot, and you just have to show them what they need rather than what they want.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to have their kids at home. That means pies. People are going to have their kids at home. That means bread. Like, all of these things, and these marketability things, and just get, like, for instance, when you're running ads, run one at a discount, run all of the others the same, but discount the price is the same as what they would normally do. So don't discount your own price, but make it look like they're getting a deal.
Yeah, that's what I thought about doing with a lot of the stuff, is sort of making it look like it's a deal, but really they're just paying full price.
Like, here's another campaign that I can show you. If I show you this, I go down to one of my other clients. So I just started doing this campaign for a client, and what we did is we do the 4 like I normally tell people to do. Like, look at this shit. Like, what the fuck is this? I got her 14 leads in 3 days, and then she's got fucking engagement ads at 50, and she spent like fucking, I don't even know. It's nuts. So you go through here and you can see, I'll show one of them. Is it this one? Probably this one, actually. I guarantee it's this. If this one, it works real well with my. No, so it's this one. It's one of these bastards. Yeah, so this is here. It's like 2 of them are talking about how good the webinar is. The third one is saying, by the way, if you really want to get leads, this free video lays it out all for you. Check it out here. So when you do 3 or 4, you just put this as like, one of them is like, hey, just letting you know there's a 20% discount if you act now.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? So like, you don't have to give them the discount. You just have to say there's a discount. So it's just to get them back on. And I'll probably notice based on the stats that these, they'll end up doing better than most of these, because obviously we've just started, so it's going to be a little bit harder to gauge things right now. But it's just allowing them to have that scarcity and going through and saying, actually, take action in this.
Well, that's what I've thought with with the whole lead generator thing, I
Mhm.
was trying to think of it, and I was like, "Fuck, that's going to be so cunty to try do one ad that's giving out something that's not just my base on my normal email list. Having separate people. I was like, oh, that's going to be confusing as fuck. So I'm cheekily thinking about doing is having those deals in the email sequence, but they're not going to get that deal until like 12 fucking to 20 weeks after they've signed up to the email sequence.
Yeah.
That technically I'm not lying to them, and their first email is going to be a deal. It's just probably not the deal that they were thinking of.
So wait, run me through what you think is annoying. I'm just trying to picture it in my head. So you have a current list and you're going to run a new ad. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so the ad that I was just about to run that we've been talking about for the last like 2 weeks is the croissant one, where it'll be 2 for $5.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that. I was like, fuck, that's going to be annoying running that and then trying to figure out who's signing up from that rather than who's signing up from
Okay, so
the bread deal.
Yeah. So are you gonna run the bread deal at the same time?
Yeah, so I've got that one running constantly.
So what you need to do is go through and go to Zapier again. Have you used Zapier yet or no?
No.
Okay, so Zapier is the one thing that automates the process between them signing up on the lead form to them being on a list. It's free as well, so it's free up until a certain amount, which should fall in with what you're doing. So for instance, what you do is you just make 2 lists on your email email campaign. And then what you do is you make 2 landing pages that we've made before for them to sign up. One being for the bread, you've already done it. The second one being for the croissants, and then they go into 2 separate lists, and you can track both of them.
Oh, okay.
And then you can use the same sequence if you want to. You just have to add that sequence into both lists. But that way you can track both of them. So for instance, if I was to show you one of our active campaigns that we're doing for a client, like this shit's mad. Like the amount of emails we've got this person. So they just to picture this into your head, they've made they didn't have this account before I took over. Like they didn't have an email system. Where the fuck? There we go. Share active campaign. So in the space of time working with them, we've got 811 contacts. So it's 132% more this week than it was last. But what we've done is every single campaign has been a separate list. So even if you, I don't know what the charges are on that side of things, but what we've done is we've gone through and said all of these are campaigns. So for instance, the coaching circle has got 89 people. Cacao ceremony we did was 39. So we did a 7% return, 7x return on that. Pendulum list, we did a 5x return. Lionsgate, we did a 6x or something, and then how to protect all these, and then daily emails. So the daily emails is the only one that I let the clients use. The rest is just campaigns. So you see how we're like splitting them. And this is a ebook that we're about to release. So every single list is going to be a specific amount, so we can track the amount of leads. Because what we'll do is we'll go over to our ads manager, and then we'll go to their list and go over, and because when you start running more than one campaign, that's when it gets super annoying, which you obviously just said before. We're not running anything at the moment, but you can see if I go lifetime, all of the campaigns are the same. So if I go over here, 289 for the lead gen event, I think it was Protect Your Energy, or those 2 things. We go back over here and we can go to Protect Your Energy, pendulum lists, and how to protect your energy. So we can double check things are happening. But it's also a good way to be able to track things if you don't want to keep going on Ads Manager. But yeah, Zapier is what's that?
I'll have a look into that.
Because in that way you can add the same sequence to the same list. It doesn't matter about that side of things. It just means it's a little bit cleaner. So like you're saying before, how these people aren't from bread or aren't from the croissants. Yeah. And then what you can also do is target those people specifically if you wanted to announce a certain thing and not have to worry about the other list knowing.
Yeah.
And that's what I used to do with PT. I used to have a list in which subscribers would go into there if they hadn't trained with me for more than 20 days. And I'd send an email out every month with a discount code.
Yeah.
And we do that with the app all the time as well. So people that have, like, for instance, cancelled, we'll put those email lists into a email sequence into a specific list, so we can talk to them in different languages.
Yeah.
And you'll notice this with businesses in the way that you subscribe to things, maybe not so much, but you'll start to notice it, that you'll actually stop seeing people's email sequences, and then as soon as you do an action, you'll start seeing it again.
Yeah,
Same on
definitely.
Facebook as well. So that's also why it's happening, is because you would have gone a certain amount of days without taking an action. You would have been bumped off it, and then you would have seen their ad again because they ran the original one again.
Yeah.
So it's a
I see
certain
that all the
sequence.
fucking time.
Yeah. So it's the art of doing that without being too obvious about it, which is quite hard to be quite obvious when people aren't that smart. So it's going through those things and saying, cool, like that's what I want to focus on. How do I do it? Create the list, create the sequence. Don't have to create the sequence again because I know that was quite time consuming. So there's no point trying to double dip. But I would just change that first original email to be the offer and then have the same sequence.
Yeah.
Because people wouldn't matter. And then all you have to do is the sequence stays the same. The front end funnel or the front end email that they'll get as soon as they sign up would be different. So the Zapier kind of thing, if you haven't been on there before, is I'll show you.
Well, my biggest problem is I don't have an actual automated sequence on that MailChimp thing. Like I couldn't figure out how to do that, and I stupidly didn't ask.
Right.
So what I've done is I've just been manually doing it, which is easy enough.
But not when you're busy.
Yeah. But like every time after our call, I just jump on MailChimp and I can see what happened in the last week, and I'll just duplicate it all, and then be like, oh, yep, sweet.
So you're either going to get real annoyed by this or really being like, what the fuck? Because I remember I mentioned to you before, but literally all you do is, if I refresh the page, you go to Zapier. It's free. You can make a free account. I think it's up to a certain amount of zaps, which is effectively a certain amount of leads. So what you do is you go Facebook lead ads, which is just, it comes up as that anyway. Then you go new lead, go continue. Select the lead form, which is it'll make you log into Facebook and do all this other stuff. So you can see here, just using, I've got 15 different accounts using it. And then from here, you choose the page you want. So obviously I've got all of these as my admin on all of these pages. So like, for instance, if I want to do myself in my company, I would go down and say breakthrough call, continue. Then I would go test trigger. Probably not going to come up with anything because I haven't been running that ad. Yep. So it came up with UK online advertising copy. So it actually comes up with where it's from as well. And then pretty much it's either someone, go continue. Then what you would do is, this is the second phase. What you would do, and this is how we do our app as well, is if I wanted to go to do MailChimp, then what you'd do is you'd go add or update a subscriber, create campaign, add subscriber tag, send campaign, add note to subscriber, create custom event. What you'll do is you'll go add or update subscriber. You'll then go sign into MailChimp, sign into it, add them to that list. And then as soon as they've added to the list, because your active campaign is, MailChimp campaign is directly associated to that list, it'll fire as well. The way you do that is, if I went to, I haven't been on MailChimp for years, but let me just, I think one of my clients has a login, so I'll use her account. It's pretty simple, but it is confusing because MailChimp tends to be a little bit confusing. If I went, I
know I fucked myself over last week. I added all these imports and I put it as, I went to tag them as a certain thing, and then it fucking tagged, like, you know how I get you to transfer over the CSV files for me?
Yep.
All of the ones that had come through the CSV files overwrit those ones to tag them as a different one. And I was like, oh, you guys are just going to get the new email again.
So what you want to do is go campaigns, create campaign. You want to then go down to email. You then want to go to automated. And then you want to go to subscriber activity, welcome new subscribers. I'm recording this, by the way, so you can watch it. And then what you want to do is single email campaign. Was that? Yeah, so you'd name name the campaign, and then you'll just go select an audience. Obviously, you'd have an audience, but instead of doing a single email, which might have been the issue, you go to onboarding system, and then you go onboarding series. So then you would say whatever, go weekly guilt-free is what she's done, and then you go begin. Then what would happen is, I can't do this because it'll activate on hers. But what will happen is the next phase, it'll go into the first email, and then you just pretty much duplicate them and say, wait, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's literally the biggest mistake, is what people do is they go email, they go campaign name. First of all, they go regular, which is not what you want. You want to go automated. You want to then go to subscriber activity, welcome new subscribers. Then you want to go to onboarding series and then go change that name.
So how would I change it now that I've already got it set up with all the emails?
So you've already got the emails written out, eh?
Yeah, so I've already got everyone subscribed.
Yeah.
But they're all at different points.
I would just do it fresh from now. So you'd make that sequence, just copy and paste. You don't have to write anything because you've already done it. Copy and paste those into days. Make sure there's a day gap between each one. And then pretty much just as soon as someone subscribes to this, let's say the croissant list, you'd have the day one email being the offer, or the immediate one being the offer, day one being the same as day one, and then having those day gaps. And then from then on, create it from there. I wouldn't worry about the people that have already done it.
Oh, sweet.
And then what you do is you just go back to Zapier once you've done that sequence, and once you've linked it to that list, go back to Zapier, go Facebook lead form, do all that stuff, go to MailChimp, log into it, create it. It walks you through the whole entire thing. If you get confused, let me know and I can do it for you, or I can walk you through it. And then that's literally, bro, like we do 1,200 zaps a week for clients. So, like, for instance, the most unreal thing for a client point of view, and this is why people like fucking gag over it, is they go to, I'll pull it up, something called Google Sheets. So, for instance, we don't really do anything that the client can't see. I just don't. A lot of people do, a lot of companies do, and it's just shady. So, for instance, we go to Google Sheets, and then you'll see here. All of our client systems. So for instance, we have there's client tracking leads, but we can go down to here. So for instance, this is a tracking sheet to be able to do it for our calls, but we've also got, it's not a good example because she doesn't have got that there. We go to Google Sheets. Let's just go to my new client. It'll be fine. Facebook leads. So then she's got a link to this. So this is our first campaign. So obviously this says test. This is what the bot did. And then it gave her all the other ones there. So she can go in and email them. We've got webinar leads. And then those two people that we did here, they're just already there for them to use. So then all she has to do is doesn't go, oh crap, fuck, I did it again. All she has to do is then go, if she wants to export this, she just goes file. She can even email it to herself, but she can go download. And then she just goes to wrong one. Download CSV. And then she can do what she wants to them. So this is what Zapier does. It just zaps them from the Facebook lead form and then zaps it into a Google Sheet, which you can then do whatever you want with. Or it can go onto MailChimp. It can go into any platform that you want it to do.
Yeah.
And it's free up until... I think it's free up until your first 500 zaps or something. So it should be fine.
I think I'm at that now.
Maybe, yeah. Manage plan. Let's go manage plan. We're up to a fucking expensive plan as well. Yeah, so free is up to 100 tasks a month. $20 a month. So this is USD. If we went to Australian, I don't think they have. Oh no, they have New Zealand. Cool. Okay, so we're up to, Jesus Christ. So we're up to, so go 0 for first 100 tasks. 750. It's $30 a month. 1,500 at 60. And then it's just once you get traction. And trust me, when you get over the amount you're getting over, it's just a fucking annoyance. And this is why we build it into our top level shit. Because like I said, and this is why people like coach at me at like the level that you're at. And then I say, okay, well, we can take over all of this stuff. And they're like, oh, I'm like, well, Zapier alone is $200 more. So you look at how much the upgrade is to get us to do the stuff, because we incorporate all the costs. So that's why we always do it. And like when you get advertising companies, they would never do that. They would say, this is how much it is. You have to pay extra. So we just incorporate it into our costs. But it does sound like it's another expense, yes, but it's fucking so good. When you've got thousands of people coming through your system, going into your email sequence, and you have to do a single thing.
Yeah,
and you can turn on
you
can turn on notifications for MailChimp, and it's fucking one of the best things ever. It's like
so with the up to like each little bracket thing, is that for only if it's new
Yes.
clients, or is that
Yes. So
is
only
that
new. So what happens is that it just goes off. If I showed you my screen here. Oh no, that is Zapier. So here's the payment thing. This is New Zealand dollars. I think we're up to 5,000, I think, something like that, per month, because we do about 1,000, 2,000 a week. So we're getting, you can see up here, like it's fucking $288 a month, right? Like we're, it's fucking nuts. So you've got free up into 100, you've got 750. Worst you can do is 1,500. So then you divide that by week. So this is how many new people are coming on. So all it is a zap. Just count every single time something happens. That's how often that's how they track it. But it's per month. So if you know in the first, let's say you can guarantee, and you can probably guarantee it based on your ad spend, your tasks are only going to be a certain amount per month because you're only spending a certain amount. So what I would say is probably just go through. What we do is until Zapier tells us we're doing too much, we just don't upgrade.
Yeah.
So we just go through there as well. So these are all. This is what happens. So you can just zap it, so it sends it as well. But there's so many things you can use it for. You can even build it into when, like, long term, when your customers do certain things in your store, like for instance, sign in, log in, whatever. You can see how many things that we do, but there's so many systems that you can use it for. It's honestly one of the most underrated systems you can do as well.
Yeah, no, definitely checking that out.
But like I said, it's free, and then it's only like $30 a month for probably. I would say it's probably $30 a month for you. In the meantime, anyway, until you get probably more and more people. But like you said, you get hundreds of people signing up for the bread one. So
yeah, that's going real well, and I've received 10 emails back so far from people saying that they love it.
Perfect. That's awesome.
That's pretty happy about that.
That's unreal, man. That's, like I said, remember when we first had this conversation? And you were like,
and I was like, I don't know if people are going to like that shit.
And then I was like, bro, welcome to the promised land.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's just the best thing to do when you've got a sturdy campaign, which you really do. It's now about adding those little things in each week. And these are what these calls do. It's like, well, cool. We just scratch everything we talked about before. You've already done it. Let's add in some like Zapier. Let's add in some more sequences. Let's add in some more emails. And I guarantee you, when COVID hits, apparently right? You send an email out, you'll get really good results, because that email list, by the sounds of it, is fucking unreal. And like I said, with my account, with my client, I did like 5 to 6 or something return on ad spend from one email that she didn't even know I sent. I scheduled it at 12:30. I said, hey, like, you've already got 5 people signing up. She's like, what? How do you mean? And I'm like, we sent an email out. She's, when did you do that? Like, it's not fucking hard. So
it's just taking the balls to deep dive into it.
It is, and it's scary, but it's like, just remember that at any point, just reach out and we can walk through it together. It's just that simple, because I've done it. I do it all the time. I do it every day. Send out emails, do scripts, do everything, right? So that's the power of it. But I think that's the things that we need to double down on.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Anything you want to run over?
Nah, my mind's about to explode with information at the moment. I'm definitely going to be watching this one over a couple times.
No, that's all good. I'll make sure I get that up as soon as I can. And then it's just letting me know if there's anything you need from me, and then what else we can do. And then, like I said, if it does happen that we go into lockdown, then just let me know what I can do. Editing, script writing, copywriting, whatever you need, man. Yeah.
Cool, no, I'm actually hoping we go into a lockdown.
Yeah.
It's honestly so good. Like, we get paid out for, what was the last time? 12 weeks.
Are we going to get another payout, you reckon?
If they force us to shut, they have to pay us out. They can't not pay us out. And then, so what was that, 12 weeks worth, and then we were only shut down for 6 weeks. So I lost probably $2,000 out of that. But then as soon as we opened, our sales were up by like 100%. So not only was I not paying wages for the next 6 weeks, but our sales were 100% up. So I was just profiting heaps.
Unreal, way. So good.
Like, I could go to Mitzi at the moment and buy it. Like, be like, oh, here's the rest of the money for the year.
Yeah, it's mean, eh? It's awesome. It's awesome when you've got a business model that can now. We've worked our ass off together to make sure you had that online platform, right? So that you've worked in this period of time. So now you're not going back into what was wrong the first time.
Yeah.
And now you have that email list. Now you have the capacity to Facebook ads. And, at the end of the day, it's only going to benefit you, not hinder you. And this is what I've been working my ass off with everyone to make sure they do, because I always prepared that it would go into lockdown.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is why I want to go get a fucking putting green.
Yeah.
So I'm like, your boy's going to be fucking putting. I'm going to come out of this fucking COVID better than I was on the golf course.
Oh, fuck,
and
mate.
that's,
I need to get better on the golf